हेलो एवरीवन, मैं वंदना आप सबका यूपीएससी टाइम में स्वागत करती हूँ। आज की वीडियो में हम एनसीईआरटी हिस्ट्री क्लास 9 का चैप्टर 4 देखने वाले हैं, जो कि है फॉरेस्ट सोसाइटी एंड कोलोनाइजेशन। इट इज़ अ लेक्चर 2 ऑफ दिस चैप्टर। नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट द चैप्टर. Crime against the humanity. What was the crime against the humanity? It was a crime against the humanity. What was the crime? At that time, crime at the extreme level. People saw the world through Nazi eyes and just spoke the Nazi language. People saw the world through the Nazi eye and spoke the Nazi language. At the time, even the Jaw began to believe in the Nazi stereotypes about them. Nazism worked on the mindset of the people, tapped their emotion, and turned their hatred and the anger to those makes mark as a undesirable. The Nazi regime used the art of propaganda. What was the art of propaganda? The Nazi regime used language and the media with care and often to great effect. They used film, picture, radio, poster, etc. to spread hatred for the Jews. A bronze cross was given for the 4 children, silver cross for 6, and the golden cross for the 8 or more. They had to be bearer the Aryan culture and the race. The Nazi cult of the motherhood. The boys were taught to be aggressive, masculine, and steel-hearted. Women were told to be good mother and rear pure-blooded Aryan children. They were encouraged to produce many children. 10 years later had to end young work. At 14, all the boys joined Hitler Youth. They joined the labor service at the 18th. Children were divided into 2 groups, desirable and undesirable. Textbooks were written. Function of sport in public schools was to nurture the spirit of the violence and aggression. Youth in Nazi Germany. Hitler felt that the strong Nazi society could be established by the teaching Nazi ideology to the children. All schools were given German teachers. Now, Poles were forced to leave their homes and the properties behind to occupy by the ethnic German brought in the form of occupied the Europe. Racial utopia, genocide, and the war become 2 sides of the same coin. Occupied Poland was divided. From 1933 to 1938, the Nazis territory pauperized and segregated the Jews, compelling them to leave the country. The next phase, 1939 to 1945, aimed at the concentrating them in the certain area and then killing them in a gas chamber in Poland. It was really a bad behavior with the humanity. Jews were the roast to suffer in the Nazi Germany. Hitler believed in a pseudo-scientific theories of the race, which said that conversation was no solution to the Jewish problem. It had to be solved through their total elimination. They wanted a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryan Jews, Gypsies, Black, Russian, Pole, even certain German and abnormal were considered undesirable. The other aspect of Hitler ideology related to the geopolitical concept of the Lebensraum or the living spaces. The Nazi worldview. According to Nazi ideology, there was no equality between people but only racial hierarchy. The Nazis began creating an exclusive racial community of the pure Germans by the physically eliminating those who were considered undesirable. But when Japan extended its support to Hitler and bombarded Pearl Harbor, the USA entered the war. The war ended in 1945. It was the Second World War, ending with the Hitler defeat and the US bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. जो हिरोशिमा नागासाकी जापान है, it was a really a crucial act with the humanity at where still now human society was not at the best level, okay, because DNA at that place damaged. Hitler had the unspoken support of the England. He chose war as the way out of the economic crisis. Resources were to be accumulated for the expansion of the territory. We occupied the Rhineland in 1936, integrated Australia and Germany in 1938 under the slogan "One people, one empire, and one leader." He then took the Sudetenland from the Czechoslovakia. He aimed at full production and full employment through a stated funded work creation program. Hitler pulled out the League of the Nation in 1933. Okay. with that our this lecture is completed and this chapter is also completed. अगर आपको इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड या सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड किसी भी टाइप की क्वेरी हो तो आप कमेंट बॉक्स में पूछ सकते हैं। अगर चैनल पे नए आए हो तो आप चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दीजिए ताकि आने वाली वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशंस आपको टाइम पे मिलते रहें। एंड थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो, स्टे ट्यून्ड विद दिस चैनल।